High ticket offers. If you've been around me for any length of time, you've probably heard me talk about high ticket offers before. And you probably all know that I'm passionate about helping coaches and consultants to add high ticket offers to their business for two reasons. First of all, as the coach or consultant, it really serves you. It helps you have a very simple business model where you can earn more while working less. And secondly, it really serves the client. These are offers that really help you deliver a deeper transformation to the client. So it really is win-win. So I get a lot of questions about what these high ticket offers look like. And that's why in this video, I want to do something slightly different. I'm going to take you into a webinar training I did previously where I shared a case study on how I helped a sales consultant create a high ticket offering for his business. What made this example quite interesting is he came to me really with a question: how could he add an extra 20,000 to his business, and how could he do it simply? And you'll see very clearly from this training that I was very clear on what he should do and also what he shouldn't do. So dive in and enjoy the case study, and I'll see you on the other side.
I want to give you a real life example. Funnily enough, with serendipity, this actually happened today. So I was speaking to someone on the phone today who approached me because he's a sales trainer, successful sales trainer, and right now he sells his services. He's in the UK, so he's selling his services for £1,500 to £3,500 per day. The problem with his business is that's clearly not scalable because he's only got certain amount of days in the month, and frankly, the most he wants to sell any month would be 10 days, 6 to 10 days of his time, because he's got other things that he needs to attend to in the business. So the big question for him was, how could he add an extra 20,000 to his business? And he also set the criteria, it had to be simple. So that's pretty much what he came to me saying: here's where I am, here's where I want to go, and it has to be really simple, Bernadette. Now, what he also brought with him was he mentioned that he had a $197 DVD package. But I ruled that out very quickly when we were putting together his plan to make an extra 20,000, and let me explain why. For him to make the extra 20,000 that he wanted to make, or wants to make, he would have to sell 101 units of that product. Now, as I said, I've been marketing online for a long time, and 1% is pretty typical of a conversion of web sales. That would be considered a good conversion. So for him to sell one unit, he's going to have to send 100 visitors to a page. That means to sell 101 units, he's actually going to need over 10,000 visitors a month. Now that means he's setting himself up for full-time traffic generation, full-time customer support, and take it from me, full-time headaches. So, a lot of people think, oh, well, when I've got products and I've got products in my offering, I'm just going to have this wonderful business that makes me money when I sleep, and I will just turn on my computer in the morning and I'll see these orders that came in and overnight. And yes, it does happen, but I just want to be really straight with you. I'm just going to be honest with you. To do that kind of volume, you're going to need a lot of things in place in the business. And the big issue that you're going to have to do that kind of volume is going to be traffic. And that means that either you are going to be full-time working on traffic, or you're going to have to hire someone to work full-time on traffic. And because the rules of traffic are changing all the time, it's like a full-time job just staying up to date. Well, does that sound like a freedom-based, simple model to you? Because it certainly doesn't to me. So I ruled that out. So this is what we came up with instead for him. So the suggestion I had for him was that we created a high-value online interactive program. He's already serving clients, and he has a standard program, a standard sales training program that, yeah, he tweaks and adapts when he goes to different clients. But in the main, 90% of what he's offering his clients is the same thing over and over. Now, I wasn't surprised to hear him say that, because the 80-20 rule plays out. And I know this myself. Like, when I'm with clients, 80% of the time, I'm sharing with them the same strategies that I've shared with, the other 80% of my clients. So there's a bit of repetition that goes on. So what we looked at was, what if he was able to create an online interactive program where the content that's the same is basically pre-recorded, so it's there and it's stored, and his clients and students can access it online. But we also make it interactive. So instead of like, well, they've just got the content and then they're off on their own, that, you know, he's there for some of the time. But the good news is he doesn't have to be there for all of the time. So we talked specifically about a program he had, which at the moment takes him 3 days of 6 hours training. So it takes him 18 hours to deliver. And when we explored how much of that was the same content, about 9 hours of that is the same content that's been, you know, delivered over and over again. About 25% of the time, his attendees of his training course would be doing worksheets and exercises and completing exercises. And about 25% of the time, he is answering questions and helping people to take that content and adapt it to their situation and dealing with any questions that come up. So by structuring what's currently delivered as a 3-day training, and by structuring it as an online program, he's actually able to deliver the same, if not better, quality content to his clients, but he doesn't have to be there in person. So that's how it's now scalable. So instead of going and doing a 3-day training course, if he's able to sell people onto this 8-week program, he then can make the same amount of money, but only showing up to do the live bit of Q&A. So this is what I mean when I say scalable, because whereas he was kind of reaching the ceiling on his income with his old way of working, suddenly this completely opens up his market, because there are all sorts of potential. Like one is that you know, he ends up doing a group program where different companies are able to access the same content, and they might still have access to him you know, within their company for the Q&A, but it just opens up the opportunities. Now, also notice how we've just then changed the offer, because when he's offering a 3-day training program, we all know this, we've all been there. You go and do a training program and you get all motivated, you get all fired up, and then you go back to work and you put a couple of things into practice, you get some results, but you know, gravitational pull that takes probably 2 weeks after the training, everything that you've learned has fallen by the wayside. So for him to take what he's currently delivering as training and positioning it this way, he's actually moved it. He's now really giving people online training and coaching, because the Q&A is an opportunity to do coaching and support people putting it into practice. So that actually means his clients are going to get better value. Think about it. If you were learning to sell, where are you going to get best results? By being immersed for 3 days and getting lots of content, or by working with someone over a period of 8 weeks? And then, of course, the final thing is that there was physically less time that if he physically has to show up and deliver. So this is how we were able to take the ceiling off his income. So let me just show you the numbers now that we worked out for him. As I say, this is a real life example from a business, from someone that I actually spoke to today. So the price point for that program, we arrived at 4,000, and we arrived at that price point. We didn't pluck it from thin air. We arrived at it based on what his clients are already paying to get what he has to offer, but in his old way of delivering it. And you know, we then calculated that basically to make 20,000, he just needs 5 companies to say yes to his training package, where for a price of £4,000, he will train up 20 of their staff, or 20 of their staff can have access to this online training program. Now, I then went on to ask him, and you would expect this because he's a sales trainer. I said, you know, how many people would you need to speak to in order to make those 5 sales every month? And we calculated that he would need 20 qualified leads. So you think about this. Which task would you like to have? Which marketing task do you want? Do you want the marketing task which requires you to find 20 qualified leads every month? Or do you want the marketing task that requires you to get 10,000 new visitors to your website every month? I'm telling you now which is the easiest, fastest, most direct path. So there's an example of a high value, scalable model.
Hi again. I hope you got some value from seeing how I approach creating a high ticket offer for my clients and more importantly, the thinking behind a high ticket offer. So it really is about win-win. It's not just about adding zeros to a price point. It's about creating bigger transformations for your clients and customers. So you're delivering more value to them with the end result that you get paid more too. So it really is a way that everyone can win. Now, if this has got you thinking about your high ticket offer, there's a few ways that I can help. First of all, beneath this video, check out links to other videos I've created on creating a high ticket offer, adding them to your business, why you should do it, where to find people who will buy these services. But also I urge you to check out my program, Get Clients to Make Money, where not only will I help you create the high ticket offer for your business, I'll help you find the clients who want to pay those premium prices because they want that bigger transformation. I will show you how to connect with those clients, how to book sales calls with those clients, how to conduct those sales calls, and deal with what may come up, which includes their objections potentially, and also perhaps your own fears and doubts about whether you've got what it takes to sell high ticket. It's all in there in the Get Clients to Make Money program, so I do urge you to check it out. Either way, I really hope I'm inspiring you to create a high ticket for your business, because I know this is the fastest, smartest way for you to get a business that you love, where you're serving clients and have a big impact and getting really well rewarded. And ultimately, it serves your clients too.